Hello there, Ray here, and in today's video I will be showing you how you can easily kill a wither without any armor or weapons, even on the hardest difficulty. And you won't even take any damage. Plus you don't need any bedrock or anything special. Having played the game for over 12 years and designed hundreds of different contraptions using withers, I have proved that withers are not as dangerous as you think and can be easily managed if you understand them. And to kill this wither, it's only going to take us about 8 dripstone. Now if all you want to see is how to pull this off, go ahead and hop to the timestamp that is currently on the screen, because now I'm going to give a short timeline on how I designed this. Recently on Hermitcraft, Impulse, Good Times with Scar, Pearl, and Rendog got together and killed some withers using dripstone. The automated process that they used was based on another video, and that video was based on a video that I did 7 months ago showing a super easy way to kill withers using the new dripstone. And that video of mine was based off of a ton of testing that we did in a live stream the very day that dripstone was added into the game. And I showed a bunch more cool things that you can do with dripstone in that video, as well as corresponding live stream, which all my live streams are archived if you want to see exactly how we invent these things. And during that live stream, we actually had the Mojang developer who created dripstone there in our stream, as well as our testing world, as we played around with the new dripstone. And his name is Henrik. And having chat and played with him, I gotta say he's a really cool person. But the wither killer that I built during the stream is actually based off of my previous wither killer where I use anvils, and it will look very similar to what I show you guys today, except there has been some changes throughout the versions, so this will be an update video to that one. So hopefully that explains the history of this device, as I often see people that are new to Minecraft and not know the history, and therefore when they see someone making a video about something, they assume that the person showing it is the origins of the idea. And this is why I take time to prove that I was actually the original designer of all my machines and farms, because there is hundreds of YouTubers that use my designs, and depending on which video you watch first, you might think they were the first one to do it. Impulse did a good job in explaining that the design he first built up on Hermitcraft was from a video and it didn't quite work the way he wanted it to, so he went ahead and tweaked it for his needs. I would recommend checking out Impulse's video, as they had some funny shenanigans happen. I'll have that link below along with all these other links. And after watching Impulse's video, I decided to update my simple wither killing setup since there was some changes, and also do a tutorial on how my dripstone wither killing actually works, as my original video was very brief. So hopefully that addresses any confusion that people might have. As the leading expert in withers for the Java edition, I have to say withers are probably the most misunderstood mechanic in the game of Minecraft. And this is due to the Bedrock Edition wither being different than the Java, and most people playing on modded servers where the withers act differently than in vanilla. On top of that, there has been changes to withers throughout the versions, which causes confusion, making some people think that containing a wither isn't possible. And this leads to a lot of incorrect information on the internet. So getting into the tutorial, you might be wondering, why isn't that wither over there attacking me since I am in survival? This is for 2 reasons, because first of all, I did not hurt the wither, so there's no reason for him to come over here and attack me. And second of all, I'm actually just slightly out of his range for his side heads to attack me. So if I move in just a little bit, you'll see the side heads will decide to turn and try to shoot me. But then if I move far enough away, they will forget about me again. And then if I move in close again, they won't attack until I get a bit closer. But also notice that the side heads will attack me, but the wither doesn't actually come over here to attack me. And this is once again because the wither isn't actually being attacked by me, so there's no reason for him to actually come over to me. So now I will show you how to kill the wither. First off, you want to choose the proper location. You want to choose a location where there's not many other animals wandering about. So I would recommend using like a desert or a mesa. And you can kind of scout the area for entities by doing F3+B. So if there's anything nearby, you should sort of see it more easily. And I recommend keeping stuff at least one chunk away. If you do F3+G, you can see these indicators that show chunks. So if I would like build it right here, just make sure there's no like other mobs in these 4 chunks around it. So to pull this off, all you will need is this in your inventory. You need 10 blocks that are pretty good blast resistance, so any type of stone should work. You also need the 4 soul sand and the 3 wither skulls in order to summon in the wither. Then you'll need 42 more blocks. These can be any type. Then you'll need a wooden trapdoor of some sort and a pickaxe. And lastly, you'll need about 10 pointed dripstone. If you're wondering where to find dripstone, it's just randomly throughout the caves you'll see these. And if you just mine them up, you'll get the items. And you can also farm them like all the new items in 1.17, which you can learn about by watching this video here, link below. If you're wondering how to get wither skulls, I would recommend eventually building up my simple wither skeleton farm. You don't have to get them manually. You can also find that link below. So to get started, just find somewhere that's kind of level around and use your 10 blocks to stack straight up as a pillar. And once you get up here, then you can build the T shape of the wither. Notice that the tail piece is directly over top of the pillar underneath. That is very important. Then you could place in 2 wither skulls and then place in a block just above the center of the wither. Now this is where you have to summon in the wither and then use the rest of the blocks to stack upwards. You can do this on whatever difficulty you want. I'm doing it in a hard difficulty. You could do it without any armor or potion effects or anything. But if you are nervous, I would recommend practicing doing this in creative first before doing it in your survival world. So all I'm going to do is going to place the last wither head up against this one, which is going to place it over here, and this is going to summon the wither. Don't worry that the wither's right beside you, he won't attack you, and then just stack up with the rest of your blocks. And the wither, he's going to go through his summoning phase, and he's going to explode down below, but he's not going to move because he is currently up on top of a pillar, and he doesn't find that as a easy location to leave. Feels like he will fall down if he leaves his pillar, so he's actually just going to stand there on his pillar just fine. Then you just come up here and place the trapdoor on the lower side of this block. So this is where it sits. It is on this block here. And then you can mine away this block and then you shift click and kind of stand right here on the edge looking right there. Now you can unshift click and you place in your first pointed dripstone. Now this is where the actual wither killing occurs, and depending on how fast you are, it could take as few as just 8 dripstone to kill it, but otherwise bring more in case you mess up. But what I'm going to do is just going to flip this trapdoor by right clicking it, then I'm going to reset it, then I'm going to place another dripstone by clicking up against this edge. And we're just going to do this very fast. So open it, close it, place another one right there, open, close, place, just keep repeating this until the wither is dead, or you run out of dripstone, and you can see just like that, the wither is dead. So if we hop down here and check it out, we'll see all the dripstone is sitting around the tower, and you can also pick up all the dripstone to repeat the process. We also got the nether star from actually killing it, and it was super easy. If you are enjoying the video so far, make sure to leave a like on it as well as subscribe, as I design thousands of crazy contraptions just like this one to help you out in your survival worlds. So I'll point out a couple tips which makes my setup work. So first off, that center pillar is way up above the ground, so when wither is summoned in, even if he destroys part of it, he will be plenty high off the ground where he doesn't want to walk away. So this is what it looks like before placing the head, and even if you place the head like sideways, it will still summon the wither. You can see that even though he does do his explosion once he is completely summoned in, it's not going to break more than just like one block right there. And now he'll just stand there. Now he will get bored and shoot off wither skulls, but if you do this where there's really nothing around, you don't have to worry about those destroying anything. If he sits there long enough, he may just happen to shoot straight downwards and break another layer off this. So I wouldn't just leave him like this. But you can see how this is similar to some of the wither cages that I've shown in the past. By the way, if you guys want to learn more about wither cages, I actually made a whole playlist consisting of all the videos with great information on how all my wither cages work, and I'll have that link down below. So the main purpose of the pillar is just to keep the wither in position as you prepare to drop the pointed dripstone or the anvils. And if we do F3 plus B, we can see exactly where the wither is. Even though he does have these side heads and entities do come from them, what the game considers the spot where you can actually hit him is only this little rectangle box in the center. And because of that, we have our next pillar that we use to pillar up slightly off to the side. So when we do drop dripstone, it has a nice clear area to drop down to hit him on the head. So this is where we continue stacking upwards, and it is important when you're stacking up not to let the wither see you until you get to a certain point. Okay, finish stacking. So the main point of this tower is just to get enough height to get the maximum use out of our dripstone. And this is why we're about 42 blocks above the wither. So when the dripstone hits him, it'll do the maximum of 40 damage. So then we place the trapdoor on the lower side of this block. That way the dripstone can see this nice surface as a place to stick to. Then we remove this just to give ourselves a better place to aim on the block below, because we have to kind of aim on the side here, which can be kind of tricky. Now one thing to keep in mind is not to be completely on top of the trapdoor and open up, otherwise you're going to fall through. But standing here kind of in the center works great. And then a little bit off to the left hand side so you can aim. Now one thing to be careful when you open this trapdoor, the player is going to fall down slightly. Notice I kind of fell down. Now I'm inside the trapdoor. Now there is this weird bug where you can't crouch when you're inside of a trapdoor. So if I hold down crouch and let's say I close this trapdoor, even though I'm holding shift and I walk to the left, I'm actually going to fall directly through that trapdoor, despite being standing on top of this block. But can allow for some strange traps where players can crouch to get in but can't crouch to get out, as well as people accidentally crouching over the edge of things and falling. But you can still crouch against this side here, so I can crouch and go backwards even though I'm inside the block. I just don't want to go off to the left hand side, otherwise I fall right through. So from this location, you get yourself right here where you can click on this block and also click the trapdoor. and you just right click twice and then go move your cursor down, click there, and then click twice. And I would recommend practicing this. I'm actually doing this on a controller and I can manage it, so I think anybody using mouse and keyboard can do this pretty easily. And pretty much as fast as you can do this, it will be able to kill the Wither. Just like all mobs, the Wither does have a cooldown, so it can only take damage every so often. But by the time you place down the dripstone and open the trapdoor, that cooldown has went away. And this is the reason why we actually place in the dripstone one at a time rather than making a huge chain of dripstone and dropping all at once. It could be super inefficient. Now you can also choose to not stack up as high, but just use more dripstone to kill the Wither. Now you can use the same setup to repeatedly kill more Withers. We will have to replace this block that was broke here, and I would recommend that when you place in the Wither here and the heads, you can also place in these blocks just like so. As you will be going up and down a lot, you can place in ladders here all the way up the side of it. Now the very lower ladders will get destroyed, but the majority of them should be there when you need them. So now when you summon the Wither, you want to be up on the stairs here and place the head up against that one like so, and then just continue your way all the way up to the top of it. You see he does destroy the bottom piece, but then from here you can go ahead and kill off a few Withers. If you want to, you can also replace those blocks with obsidian, both the floor block and also these blocks that get blown up right in here. If you happen to have an elytra, you can actually just summon the Wither and then just fly up to the top and drop them down, and then fly back down and repeat the process, making for much quicker kills. Now another thing you can do to automate the process is to put in an observer clock here, one facing that way, one facing that way. Now the trapdoor will move like that, and if you go ahead and stand right here, you can easily click up against this block and it'll automatically drop them. So I have another Wither down there, and if I just hold down right click, I'm going to drop all 8 of these. Just like that, you can kill them. And the timing on this clock makes it perfect, so you don't drop them too fast. So I got another Wither down there, and let's see exactly how fast this is. So go ahead and start. So it was just over 5 seconds, which makes it extremely efficient. Now I did design this for the Java edition, as Bedrock do have quite a few changes to Withers that are in Java edition. Now if you do want a completely automatic Wither killing machine, I designed quite a few of them over the years, and most recently in my beacon farm, so I recommend checking out that video if you haven't already. If you found this tutorial helpful, make sure to leave a thumbs up on the video. And the best way to support my channel is just by sharing what I do with others, so let other people know that RaisedWorks has a really easy way to kill Withers. If you'd like to learn more crazy things that you can do with Withers, check out these 2 playlists. I would like to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!